Most beginners think that camping is all about choosing a tent and a sleeping system, and there are a lot of things that they forget, especially when going out for the first few times. Today, we're going to talk on how to make this better and to make sure that your trip doesn't get ruined at 2 in the morning. So, here are 7 essential things that you should have with you whenever you're going camping, especially as a beginner. I'm not talking about survival camping here, where you fight with bears or whatever stuff you see on YouTube. I'm not talking about going and doing things in the wilderness. I'm talking about thriving while you're camping, actually enjoying that. Comfort camping, we're talking here about car camping, the type of camping where the biggest danger is realizing that you forgot something at home and it risks making your life miserable for the rest of the camp. And trust me, it always happens. It happens even to the best of us. These are 7 things that beginners usually forget to take with them until it's too late. Number 1, lighting. Most beginners, they arrive at the campsite with one flash, uh, or not even with a flash, they just have their phone with them, and they don't realize how important it is to have a light with you. And you don't realize that until it gets dark and the whole campsite gets dark and you're trying to find something in the tent and you're just rummaging above. The phone becomes really hard to keep in your hand, and basically you can't find anything. And what will fix this? Well, some warm light. Make sure that you have with you some dedicated lights for your campsite, maybe some string lights to give a cozy feeling to your campsite. And you can have some head torches. That's obviously one thing that you can have, which is easy. You can just put it on your head and just explore around, and you are obviously hands-free and you can do stuff. But you can also buy some dedicated lights. You can buy some solar charging lights that would just make your life much easier. So what you can get lanterns, small LED lights, string lights, and so on. And suddenly your campsite doesn't look that bad anymore, right? It makes it look really cozy, and it looks like you're actually meant to be there. Second thing, a neck pillow. A lot of people just say, okay, I'm not going to take a pillow, it's going to occupy too much space, right? But we're not talking about going into the wilderness with a backpack. Okay, that's a totally different scenario. Over here, we're talking going to a campsite or just going camping with your car off camping site, right? Where you're really close to your car and the space is not an issue. So stop lying to your neck. You're really going to feel it. Just putting some stuffed clothes behind your neck is not going to help. You're not going to feel comfortable. At 2 a.m., you're going to wake up feeling your neck being really stifled, and you're not going to like it at all. And in the next morning, instead of enjoying your camp life, you're going to be all tired and groggy. So take a pillow with you. It's free. You can take one from home, or you can just buy one which is inflatable, which is dedicated for this kind of stuff. And you're going to feel much better while doing that. Third thing, a storage system. You don't have to put stuff randomly in the car, and forget things. Just buying some boxes or some dedicated bags where you keep all of your camping stuff is going to ensure that you don't forget anything. It's really important whenever you're going camping that you make sure that you have dedicated things. Because if you start mixing whatever you have at home with what you have camping, then each time when you're going camping, you actively have to think about this kind of stuff. And it also helps with the chaos. We categorize things. You should have things for your meals. You should have things for your equipment. You should have things which are related to your tent, lights, and so on. In our case, we have a system that is composed of different bags. So we have a bag which is dedicated to the sleeping system. We have a bag where we're keeping everything which is related to cooking. We have one which is for all of the electrical stuff. We have another one which is dedicated for all sort of miscellaneous, like lighting fires and so on. So it makes life much easier if you know exactly where things are supposed to be. And also your campsite is going to be better. Fourth thing, camp shoes. Yes, having some slippers with you or some sandals are going to make a huge difference, especially after driving or hiking for one entire day. If the weather is bad, if it's raining and so on, and your boots get wet or your shoes get wet, it's such a good relief whenever you reach at the campsite, you're done with installing everything, and you just switch to your slippers or to your sandals or to something which is much more comfortable. It really makes your body feels the change. Fifth thing, which a lot of beginners sometimes don't think about, is having a dedicated camping table. It doesn't have to be huge. It will allow you to organize things properly. Whenever you're cooking something or whenever you're eating something, is going to make a whole lot of difference rather than just having things on the ground or maybe relying that at the campsite you're going to have something dedicated. A table, a chair, it's going to make a whole world of difference to being independent. Sixth thing, since again we're talking about camping where you don't have to worry about carrying things, you can always bring extra blankets, making sure that your sleep system is cozy, that you're warm enough, that you have everything that you need. You don't necessarily, especially during the summertime, you don't really have to invest a lot into dedicated sleeping systems. You can just take blankets from home and make sure that you're all warm and cozy. And a lot of camping videos, they're really dedicated to this kind of stuff. It's like in military, this is going to do this, this is going to do that. Well, we're going to have a dedicated video about what sleeping system you should use according to what you want to do. 7, a dedicated kitchen box. This is going to make your life much easier because you know that you have everything that you need in order to get started with cooking. In the beginning, we were not doing that. We had like 3 boxes where we just had everything randomly together. And basically, I had to rummage through all 3 boxes in order to find everything that was needed. Like this, if you have a dedicated kitchen setup, it's going to be much easier for you guys to make sure that you're having an enjoyable time. And also make sure that you have backups whenever it comes to the source of cooking that you're having. Make sure that you have enough cylinders of gas if you're using gas. Make sure you have wood with you if you're going to cook on top of a fire. Make sure that you have extra matches or extra lighters in order to make sure that everything goes fine. There's nothing worse than going hungry whenever you're going camping. And now, bonus section if you're going off-grid camping like we are. So over here you're in a situation where you don't have a lot of amenities. Let's see what you need if you go off-grid camping, because the situation is going to be much different than whenever you're going into an organized camping. Here's a subject that no one really wants to talk about whenever people are going camping: toilets. Right? You need to be able to go to the toilet whenever you're camping. And if you're going off-grid camping, that can be difficult for a lot of people. And actually, this is one of the reasons why off-grid camping becomes harder and harder to do, because a lot of people, they don't have a system for this, they don't have a backup for this, and they just end up going in the forest and throwing stuff everywhere. I recommend having a shower tent and a portable porta potty, some bio bags, and there are also some powders that you can put in there that will liquefy things. You can have also some sawdust, basically for the other things, and after you're done, you just bury. Obviously, you can also go through the survival type of thing where you can just make a hole and do your stuff over there, each with their own. In my case, I really can't do that, so I prefer the toilet situation to be more like a toilet. And believe me, not having a toilet has ruined my camping, especially at the beginning, quite a bit, because I would always have to rush, okay, I can't go here, there are people and so on, so I would have to pack in a hurry, and the camping experience got ruined. So yeah, really important. Now, since we're talking about having a shower tent, it would also be nice to have a second thing, which is a shower, right? Can be something as simple as having some water that you leave it for heating out in the sun. You can have one of those things that you can just hang and the water will warm up in that. Or you can go even simpler than that. You can have some wipes that are dedicated for washing your bodies, and it makes a huge difference going to bed clean or waking up in the morning and having that with you. Third thing, something against mosquitoes. Mosquitoes can be really annoying, especially in the summer. So make sure that you have a dedicated solution for that. In our case, we're having solar zapper that we keep in our tent, and we have those cones that you're burning, and they have a citronella flavor, and this would make the mosquitoes go away. Believe me, there's nothing more unpleasant than being surrounded and bitten by mosquitoes in the evenings. Number 4, a heating system, especially when you're going off-grid camping in the spring and in the fall. I'm not going to touch winter because I haven't really camped during winter and I don't have dedicated gear for that. But in the springs and even in the summer, if you're going in the mountains, last year we went in July in the middle of the mountains and we did off-grid camping, and at night it was getting way cooler than the system that we had. We didn't have appropriate clothes, we didn't have a lot of things, so that ruined the trip for us quite a bit. Having a heating system with you as a backup, it's something really nice. If you have access to electricity or if you have a power station or anything like that, it can be something like an electric blanket. It can be something like something based on gas. You can have something like a Mr. Body heating system. You can have, we are using a kerosene heater. Obviously, with any of these alternatives, you need to make sure that you're taking proper precautions and that you're also having a monoxide detector with you. You don't want this to end badly. Or if you're more into serious type of camping, you can even have a wooden or a pellet stove that you can use to heat up your tent. Number 5, electricity. If you're going for more than one day camping, you're going to realize that you need your electronics. Maybe you're using your phone to play some music, or maybe you're in an area which doesn't have a lot of good coverage, so your phone ends up eating a lot of things. As I said in the beginning, lights are also very important, so you need to be able to recharge them. Maybe you're going to buy the solar powered ones and you can just leave them in the sun, but if you don't that, it would be nice, especially when you're going for longer off-grid camping like us. I think you saw we're using a solar panel and we're also using a power station. This allows us to have a bit more comfort. We are able to recharge all of our gear, all of our cameras, all of our phones, and even have some luxuries such as playing a movie in the evenings from a small projector and so on. So it's something that will add a lot to your life. When it comes to this, it can be something as simple as just having 1 or 2 extra power banks. This is what we did at the beginning. We'll have one 20,000 milliamperes the extra battery, and that would be enough to recharge our phones for a couple of times. So yeah, can be as simple as that. 6, water. That's something that a lot of people are underestimating whenever you're going off-grid camping. So if you don't have water nearby, make sure that you have a lot of extra water. We went last year to Vadu, for example, at the seaside here in Romania. The only water we had access in that area was the sea water, and that's not really helpful because you need to cook. For that you need water. You need to wash yourself. You need water. We also have our pet, Momo. She also needs water. She was getting dirty in the sand. We had to wash her. She was going into the water as well. Again, we had to wash her. So yeah, take more water than you think you need. It's always good to have that. And now number 7, privacy. Talking about privacy, you can have a tarp, an awning, a screen, anything that would keep your things private. Maybe there are a lot of people around the campsite, or it's just as simple at not staying in the sun. This is going to make a big difference. So let me know what you think about this list. What are things that you've forgotten in the past and you really regretted? Do you agree with this list? Would you like to add other stuff? Tell me what you think about it. Until the next one. Bye.